Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast of brief messages to help humanity bridge the gap to the new earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard. It is my delight to be a scribe for consciousness today, sharing the wisdom that flows through from Source. Here we go. Episode 32. Today is a Friday. It's gorgeous here in Cincinnati. Again, just beautiful weather, not like the summer weather we typically experience. And the word that came through so clearly for me in my meditation earlier was the word acceptance for today. And as I sat here meditating for a few minutes before starting to speak, I was just asking my soul, my guides, consciousness, love, tell me something to say about acceptance. What is there that needs to come through? And the message I got is just show up and start speaking. And that feels like the point. That feels like the message of acceptance. We are in a time of healing and awakening and awareness on our planet that is unprecedented. We have never experienced the possibilities for love to expand that we do in this very moment right now. And tomorrow, the next day, next week, next month, next year, that new moment is going to be filled with even more possibilities for healing and love to expand than this moment. We are entering a time, we are riding a wave of such loving kindness, such support energetically available to us as souls in human bodies, to heal, to integrate, to accept all of the parts of ourselves, to love, to love every single cell, every drop of energy, every experience we have ever had and will ever have, to love every part of that, of ourselves. And it is an individual journey. The more we accept ourselves, and I want to emphasize accept, 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 not accept, EXCEPT, which means to disown, to eliminate, to ignore. It's not that. It's acceptance, to welcome in, to bring into ourselves, to bring into wholeness all that we are, all that we've ever been, all that we're becoming. To accept, to welcome all of that into ourselves first, our own individual process of acceptance. Knowing, trusting as we do that inner work, as we heal and integrate and whole, it's not even the word heal, as we whole ourselves, WHOLE, as we make ourselves more whole. Remember, we are already whole. Just like the podcast where I read those beautiful words about the moon. The moon is always whole, always. We just see the parts that she reflects to us as she moves in her rotation around the planet, reflecting the light of the sun. She's always whole. It's the same for us. As we remember that, as we accept that, as we allow that, our light is going to get brighter and brighter, and the beauty that only we can bring individually to this world at this time into humanity, into consciousness, that whole incredible beauty can then shine and reflect on others and guide others and delight in the journey with others. It's our acceptance first. And wow, is that an intense process right now? In order to accept all of the parts of ourselves, we need to become aware of them. We need to be able to see the wholeness of who we are. We learn to not fear all the parts of ourselves, to embrace all the parts of ourselves. And as we're going through that process, as we're taking that journey, the stuff we don't want to look at, or the parts we have ignored or hidden, or the places where we have been in denial that is the whole of who we are, that stuff comes up to be seen, to be loved, to be forgiven, to be healed, whatever it is that the work is. It comes up so that we can integrate that into who we are and work through the emotions along the way. So sometimes when those parts of ourselves come up and we don't like them, we turn our back on them, or we ignore them, or we cover them up with a pillow and look the other direction, or we project them at other people because it's easier than looking at it in ourselves. What is happening on our planet right now is that is going to keep coming up until it's integrated. And the more you resist it, the more it's going to come up, the more intense it's going to be. The more uncomfortable our world is going to feel until we are integrating in ourselves all of who we are individually. So it's like the podcast where I said you're standing in the river and that water current is coming, and the more you resist it, the faster the speed of the current is going to get. And at some point, you're going to get knocked over, or you're just going to have to flop back and fall into the river and start flowing with the current. We are infinite souls in limited human 3D experiences in bodies. Of course there's going to be friction between the two. Of course there's hidey-hole places between the infinite and the finite. So let's welcome the contrast, welcome all of it, start to accept all of it. Why? Because it's going to happen whether you want it to or not. So why make it more difficult? Like just surrender. That song played on my run this morning, Surrender by Donna DeLory, and the words are so beautiful because what is true is when you surrender to the process of becoming whole, you fall into yourself. You fall from the finite into the infinite. You remember the infinite being that you are. And that infinite being is love and beauty and joy. And it's like the moon. The moon is this whole beautiful being that can reflect the most brilliant light. She can light up the sky. She reflects that much light. When we remember, when we accept all the parts of who we are, when we allow ourselves to be whole, not disowning any part of our experience, our journey, our person, our stories, accepting every single drop of it, not feeling the need to hide anything, just being the fullness of who we are. When we become light, we remember we are light. And the darkness is dissolved into that light. It's not separate. It's not still running the show. It's the darkness is a part of what makes us all of who we are. And we embrace that and integrate it, dissolve it into light. We are both of those. Acceptance is what is happening right now on our planet. And the invitation is for it to be an incredible, beautiful process of falling in love with ourselves, all of ourselves. And that process can be gentle and loving and kind and easy and graceful. It doesn't have to be harsh. So, here we are on a Friday. We have a weekend ahead of us to create whatever experiences we want to create. So be still for a little while. Tune into the vibration of full acceptance. And then see where you're guided to go, what you're guided to do, what you're guided to listen to, what you're guided to eat, how you're guided to rest, how you're guided to nourish yourself, the people you're guided to be around. Your soul knows exactly what most serves wholeness and acceptance. So allow yourself to just be guided. Follow the flow. Surrender to the current of the energy of the river. Just allow. Allow and enjoy. Wishing you such a beautiful weekend of full, loving acceptance of self. Thank you for tuning in to today's vibration. Let's take this message of pure love out into all of our communities and continue expanding love here on Gaia. So much love from my heart to yours.